They called my adopted daughter fake, so I canceled their mortgage. We were supposed to be having a beautiful evening celebrating my parents' 40th anniversary at a fancy 5-star restaurant that I rented out for the whole family. The food was amazing, everyone was laughing, and my sweet 7-year-old adopted daughter Maya was just showing her older cousin a drawing she made for her grandparents. That is when my sister Sarah's 12-year-old son ripped the paper out of her hands and tore it right down the middle. Grandma says, "Your drawings do not matter, because you are just a fake grandchild. Your dad bought from a store." He laughed, tossing the pieces on the floor. The entire private dining room went completely dead silent. The only sound was the soft jazz playing through the ceiling speakers. I looked over at my mom, fully expecting her to discipline him, but instead, she just rolled her eyes, took a slow sip of her expensive champagne and looked at her phone. My sister Sarah just sighed. "Oh, relax. It is just kids being kids. Stop making such a big deal out of nothing." I looked at my amazing wife, and she was already pulling Maya into a tight hug as tears streamed down my little girl's face. I did not yell. I did not throw a dramatic fit or cause a massive scene in front of the waiters. I just stood up, dropped a $100 bill on the table for the tip, grabbed my wife's hand, picked up Maya, and walked straight out the front doors. "You are ruining our anniversary dinner over a silly comment," Mom yelled from across the room. I loaded my family into the car and drove the whole way home, in total heavy crushing silence. That night, after I got Maya settled into bed and promised her she was the most real thing in my life, I marched straight into my home office, cracked my knuckles, and opened my laptop. For 4 long, agonizing years, I had been the sole financial provider for this entire ungrateful family. My parents' massive luxury house mortgage, $3,500 every single month. Sarah's dream destination wedding that was supposed to happen next month. I had already put down $15,000 for the venue and catering, almost $4,000 a month, plus huge lump sums, gone to selfish people who thought my beautiful daughter was just a fake store-bought accessory. Well, the Limitless credit card was officially declined. Click, I canceled. My parents' mortgage autopay, leaving them responsible for the massive balance. Click. I called the wedding venue and catering company and pulled my funding, canceling the reservations immediately. By Wednesday morning, the absolute chaos started blowing up my phone. Sarah called, leaving frantic screaming. Voicemails? The wedding planner just called me and said the venue canceled my date. What the hell did you do, Mom? Texted right after the bank just sent an alert that our mortgage payment bounced. Call me right now. I did not answer a single message. A few hours later, they drove all the way to my gated community and were pounding aggressively on my heavy oak front door. When I finally opened it, leaning casually against the doorframe, they looked absolutely unhinged. "Are you completely insane?" Sarah screamed, practically foaming at the mouth. "My entire wedding is ruined and the invitations are already sent out." Mom yelled, her face turning beet red. "We are going to lose the house if you do not pay the bank right this second." I just stood there watching them sweat and panic. "I do not need to pay for anything," I said, keeping my voice totally calm and icy. "You made it crystal clear that my daughter is just a fake grandchild to you. So I am simply dropping the fake family members in my own life and cutting my unnecessary financial losses. It was just a stupid joke." Mom pleaded, her anger suddenly turning into desperate tears. "He is just a dumb kid. He did not mean what he said. He meant exactly what you told him to say behind my back." I replied, staring them both down hard. "You taught him that my kid is a worthless fake. Well, your personal bank account is officially permanently closed." Sarah stepped forward, clenching her fists. "But we are your real blood family. You promised to help us." "No," I whispered quietly, stepping back inside. "My real family is sitting in the living room right now, building a puzzle. You two are just a closed account." I shut the heavy door, locked the deadbolt tight, and went back to my real family. What would you do in this situation? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.